Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to English class for 9th grades. So today, as usual, we're going to learn about English. But before that, I hope you get ready. Yang belum sarapan, boleh sarapan dulu. Kalau udah, siapin dulu alat tulisnya, buku portofolio, buku catatan, terus juga pulpennya. Nah, jangan lupa juga pakai hand sanitizer. Terus, before we start our class today, let's pray together. Begin. Okay, let's get started. So, as usual, kemarin kan kita sudah membahas tentang narrative text. Kemarin kita belajar tentang Danau Toba. Nah, hari ini kita akan belajar tentang narrative text juga sama. Nah, kemarin kan kita sudah belajar tentang karakteristik dari narrative text, generic structure, dan sebagainya. Hari ini kita akan fokus di generic structure. Nah, ini tujuan pembelajarannya bisa kalian baca. Jadi intinya di akhir pembelajaran kalian diharapkan untuk bisa mengidentifikasi struktur teks dari kebahasaan naratif teks, cerita rakyat. Terus juga kalian nanti diharapkan untuk menemukan informasi tersurat dan tersirat pada naratif teks. Nah, kita lihat video ini ya.
Mount Merapi is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. This active mountain is located in the province of Yogyakarta. More precisely, Mount Merapi is situated in Sleman Regency, or the northern part of the special region of Yogyakarta. Before it erupts, Mount Merapi shoots a hot white cloud into the air. This clump of white clouds is called Wedus Gembel by the community. The temperature is very high and it's greatly feared by the people who live on the slopes of Mount Merapi. Mount Merapi has a story of how it was formed. Do you want to know the story? Let's listen. A long time ago, the place where Mount Merapi is now located was a vast plain in the form of a huge forest. Although it was a very large jungle, there were few people who lived there. Deep in the huge forest, there was an ever-burning iron melting furnace and a stilt house. Here, two mighty masters were living in the forest. The masters were famous as heirloom kris makers. They were Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi. Unlike most of the kris makers, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi simply used their hands to pump the smouldering iron to a kris. On the other side, far south of the forest, there was a mountain and a rocky beach. The mountain was called Jamur Dipa Mountain. The mountain, which was on the south coast, was a volcano that was no longer active. Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan flew over Jamur Dipa Mountain. They seemed to be checking something.
What is the result of your investigation of the Jamur Dipa Mountain?
After we examined Jamur Dipa Mountain, it finally became clear that the mountain has caused Java Island to tilt to the south. So Jamardipa Mountain has to be moved to the lowlands in the north.
Are you able to take on this heavy task?
To the north of Jamardipa Mountain, there is a lowland in the form of a dense forest. Jamardipa Mountain can be moved to the forest, but there are two master craftsmen, Kris makers, that occupy the forest. They live there.
Then I order you two, Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan, to tell the two masters to move immediately.
Meanwhile, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi were checking the kris they had finished making. Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan descended from the sky to meet them.
O Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi, your magic is heard up to the heavens. Batara Guru admires both of you greatly.
O Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan, we thank you for the flattery that we do not deserve. If we may know, what made a god come down here?
So, far south, on the coast of the sea, there stands Jamardipa Mountain, and the existence of the mountain makes the island of Java tilt to the south. To make sure the island of Java does not tilt any further, Jamardipa Mountain must be moved to the central part of the lower island of Java. And this forest is just the right place to move Jamardipa Mountain. Batara Guru orders you two powerful masters to move from this forest immediately. Otherwise, the island of Java will become even more tilted.
Forgive us, but we cannot move from this forest. If we move, the kris we make won't be as good quality. Only in this forest can we make our kris of good quality. After all, there are still many places on this island besides this forest to put a mountain.
I'm sorry, but this is the place we must move Jamardipa Mountain to.
Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan tried hard to convince Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi to leave. But Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi insisted on staying.
All right, if you don't want to move from this forest, we have no choice. We will force you.
Finally, after failing to persuade them, Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan decided to use violence to force the two masters to move. Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi, who were refusing to move, immediately took out their kris. The fight could not be avoided. Batara Narada faced Empu Rama, while Dewa Penyarikan fought against Empu Pamadi. A fierce battle lasted until night, and continued until the next day. There were no signs of who would win and who would lose. Finally, Empu Rama smashed his kris into Batara Narada's wand, just as Empu Pamadi slammed his kris into the wand of Dewa Penyarikan. Their wands were destroyed instantly. Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan returned to the sky to meet the Batara Guru and report their failure.
There is no other way. You must move Jamardipa Mountain now, even though it will mean sacrificing those two masters.
Batara Narada and Dewa Penyarikan finally moved the Jamardipa Mountain and brought it to the forest where the two kris masters lived. Not long after, Empu Rama and Empu Pamadi saw a large object falling from the sky toward them. Mount Jamardipa had finally moved, although at the top of the mountain a crater had appeared and begun emitting white smoke. The two kris masters died as they were hit by Mount Jamardipa. Mount Jamardipa fell right on the hearth where the two masters were heating iron. The fireplace inside is what still causes Mount Deepa to shoot white smoke from its crater. Eventually, Gunung Jamur Dipa became widely known as Mount Merapi.
Nah, setelah kita menonton videonya, let's identify the story. Masih inget nggak dari generic structure atau struktur kebahasaan dari narrative text itu kan ada 4. Ada orientation, complication, resolution, sama reorientation. Nah, kita akan bahas satu-satu generic structure dari cerita The Origin of Mount Merapi yang barusan kita tonton. Nah, orientation, kita mulai dengan orientation. Orientation ini adalah pengenalan tokoh, tempat, dan waktu cerita. Nah, jadi kalian kan tadi lihat ya, pengenalan utamanya itu pas narator bilang bahwa ada 2 pembuat keris yang sangat terkenal, yaitu Empu siapa? Yaitu Empu Rama sama Empu Pamadi. Itu kan. Nah, kita harus tahu dulu karakternya siapa sih yang paling utama, yaitu Empu Rama dan Empu Pamadi. Terus tempatnya di mana latarnya? Latarnya itu in a deep forest in Yogyakarta. Jadi di hutan di pedalaman Yogyakarta. Terus waktunya kapan? Waktunya long time ago. Nah, kalau di narrative text biasanya tidak pernah dicantumkan jelas kapan ceritanya itu dimulai. Ceritanya itu terjadi gitu. Makanya kalau di narrative text mereka bilang long time ago, once upon a time. Nah, kayak gitu. Next, kita punya complication. Nah, complication itu when the problem arise, ketika problemnya itu muncul, permasalahannya muncul. Jadi kalau misalkan dalam suatu cerita tidak ada permasalahannya, itu tidak seru. Jadi cerita itu ada naik turunnya gitu. Nah, di ceritanya The Origin of Mount Merapi, permasalahannya itu muncul ketika dewa ini meminta kepada siapa? Dewa Panyarikan dan Badara, ya, Dewa Panyarikan sama, ya, ini orang ini siapa tadi, untuk memindahkan Gunung Dipa, Jamur Dipa, karena katanya Gunung Jamur Dipa ini menyebabkan pergeseran di tanah Jawa, di Pulau Jawa. Jadi ini harus dipindahkan. Sementara di sana kan tinggal masternya keris ya, pembuat keris terkenal, yaitu Empu Rama sama Empu Pamadi. Nah, jadi untuk complication-nya, so the complication is when the Jamur Dipa mountain caused the land of Japa tilt and it needed to be moved. Okay, next, resolution. Nah, karena tadi barusan kan yang membuat keris master itu mereka nggak mau pindah kan. Nah, akhirnya mereka itu membuat penyelesaian terhadap masalah itu. Nah, resolution ini menceritakan penyelesaian dari masalah itu. Penyelesaiannya adalah mereka ini dengan paksa memindahkan Gunung Jamur Dipa ke hutan yang ditinggali sama keris master itu, sama pembuat keris tadi kan. Nah, so the resolution is when Batara Narada and Dewa Panyarikan decided to drop mountain forcefully. Jadi secara paksa gitu, yang mengakibatkan dua keris master itu, dua pembuat keris itu meninggalkan karena mereka ketimpa sama gunung. Bayangin sama kalian, kalau kalian ketimpa gunung gimana? Ya udah pasti ini ya, pasti meninggal gitu. Nah ini mereka tuh cuma 2 orang tinggal di sana gitu. Nah, the last one is the reorientation. Reorientation itu adalah akhir dari cerita. Jadi kalau misalkan suatu cerita tidak ada akhirnya, akan menyebabkan kebosanan. Makanya kenapa kalau ada sinetron ya di TV kan biasanya tuh sampai 1.500 episode. Nah, biasanya kalau misalnya udah lama nonton, bakal jatuhnya tuh garing gitu. Jadi makanya harus ada akhir dari cerita itu. Nah, reorientation dari cerita barusan itu adalah, nah, sekarang Jamur Dipa Mount Jamur Dipa itu sudah dipindahkan dan sekarang itu diketahui sebagai Gunung Merapi. Nah, katanya si asap ini, wedus gembelnya ini itu berasal dari asap yang dimiliki oleh 2 pembuat keris itu, yang mereka punya kekuatan itu. Nah, jadi Jamur Dipa Mountain is known as Gunung Merapi, Mount Merapi kayak gitu. So the resolution is when the Jamur Dipa Mountain finally dropped and now it is widely known as Merapi Mountain. Itu resolutionnya. Nah, setelah kita kita nonton ya. Nah, setelah kita nonton dari awal sampai akhir, bisa disimpulkan nggak sebenarnya fungsi dari teks naratif itu apa? Nah, fungsi dari teks naratif itu adalah to entertain the reader, untuk menghibur pembacanya gitu. Dan biasanya ada moral value-nya seperti itu. Nah, moving on, kita punya challenge. Challenge-nya adalah silahkan cari cerita Malin Kundang di YouTube. Kan banyak ya cerita Malin Kundang di YouTube, tapi harus yang bahasa Inggris ya. Lalu identifikasikanlah generic structure-nya, seperti yang kita barusan buat. Misalnya nih orientation-nya kayak gimana. Kalau misalkan Miss, aku nggak tahu ini kata-katanya gimana dalam bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Inggris, boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia tahu dulu. Kalau misalkan Miss, aku mah udah tahu bahasa Inggrisnya, boleh langsung pakai bahasa Inggris. Yang penting ada 4 poin. Ada orientation, complication, resolution, sama reorientation. Nah, kalau udah difotokan dan dikirim ke nomor WhatsApp Miss. That's all for today. Thank you so much for your effort to study today. See you next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.